Hello. Happy Monday. I don't have my game running right now because I don't actually know what to do in the game. Um, so we finished up our first route in Nier Replicant last time, which was last week Saturday. And um, I don't know if I'm supposed to start a new game or if I'm supposed to start my old game. So we'll have to play around with it. So I'm not exactly sure which, but yeah, I hope everyone's having a good weekend. I'm getting over a little sickness. That's why I wasn't streaming on Saturday. I should have posted an announcement or something, but it's fine, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, mostly just not too bad though. Happy Memorial Day to the Americans. And get yeah, it's been good. All right, so we're gonna try and load the last save and see if that's what I'm supposed to do. That might not be correct. We'll see what happens.
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway...
So we've seen this cutscene before. I don't know if... I don't know if this is where we're starting the next route. We'll see. I didn't push anything, right? Kaine's dreams, discrimination. Okay, now this is definitely different. Oh, okay, we're in BN mode. Alright, buckle in. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. Okay. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on! The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Happy long weekend. Good morning, Shane. How are you? Hey, Shane, when do you... Are you in New York or when do you leave for New York? Soon, right? Spinning this way and that for a moment. It finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. Tomorrow, nice! What time? East. Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. Uh-oh. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo! Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. Okay, I thought this was the area, and I thought this was Kaine, so... Question, think afternoon sometime. Gotcha, nice. You ready? You excited? What do you got for the flight? As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile. Futile? Futile? I don't know. They're the same. Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation, as one she had experienced many times before. You gotta clean and pack today, but yeah, it should be a good week. Nice. Okay, cool. I'm glad. That'll be fun. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. Oh no. Oh, the Aerie sucks! No one likes the Aerie! In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak! Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong. Be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt. Oh look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Oh, you said that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Dino crept over closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. You got any fun plans for the day? Streaming, obviously. Planning to get a haircut? Not really sure otherwise. Maybe go to some park or something. Just hang out a little bit. Nothing crazy, I don't think. How about you, besides planning and unpacking? Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine. He called to his cohorts. Come on, guys, let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak, chanted the children. Freak! 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 Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. Pretty much just the cleaning and packing. Nice, okay. How's your weekend been? How's it feel to be done? Is your contract? Is this the last year of your contract, or you got next year too? I don't remember exactly. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Dino sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying! He's actually crying! Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. Your contract is yearly, but you're still on for next year, yeah. Gotcha. Okay. I see. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. Ancient woman. The music changed too. Ooh, this is hype. Can you still be trying to look for something else, Shane? After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bit. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little jerks ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. Is it? Wait, who is this? The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Yeah, you think you're commanding next year being your last year. Okay, gotcha. I see. Yeah, I wish you luck in that. I'm sure it's really hard. I'm sure it's hard. Job searching sucks. And it's always I think it's hard to leave. I think it's hard to leave something that's like there, I guess. The old man crouched down to gently touch the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. Even with a rock, you stupid jerk. You stupid bee. A big one. That thing could have killed me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village. No one wants you here. Either of you. Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Ha! Look at the fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. Thanks, it's a slog, but you're gonna use time this summer to improve your portfolio. Okay, yeah, that's good. That'll be great. A woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. The woman's smile. She removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said. Why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned to... Okay, grandmother. I see. I need a little snack. It's chocolate. That's okay. Oba-chan! True. Have you added any more plans to your New York trip? Are they the same plans right now? Kyle and your brother and Paris from the show. Gotcha. Okay. I didn't know your parents were going too. Unless they're just playing from the sidelines. I thought it was just going to be you and your brother. Yeah, I know originally it was just going to be them, but they had to reschedule for this. It was originally just going to be just them, but they were rescheduled for this month, so you were able. So you were able to go. Gotcha. Okay. Devin actually doesn't even know you're coming. Oh, nice! That'll be so fun. I love a surprise like that. That's wholesome. That's great. And there's no space for you. That's true. Okay. Oh, you're sure you're staying in the hotel. Gotcha. I see. Yeah. That also makes sense. It's fair. Okay. Alright, we're back. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing. Nothing matters anymore. That's so sad. I don't know how old she is in this flashback. But you notice a few things. Is that when she was getting bullied, she didn't even want revenge. She didn't want. Like, she wasn't mad at the bullies. She wanted her life to end. That's really sad. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she is a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep. It flows between the realms of this world and the next, and grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. Hey, Pipe, how are you? I still got Cat Mickey's stream up in the background. looks like a fun deck so far. You know because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. Pipe, what have you been playing lately? I feel like you play a lot of games usually, so I always like to know what kind of games you're playing because I feel like I get a lot of recommendations from you because you love indie games. Man, you love reprogrammed decks when they work. Which is about what? Maybe 10% of the time when you have a reprogrammed deck. And then, so it's like 10% of the time when you have a reprogrammed deck, and then even fewer of the decks that you have, defect decks that you have, are reprogrammed decks. So, not particularly great odds, but. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. So she adopted, like her adopted grandmother. Not a whole lot the last couple of weeks. Gotcha. Nice. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and the first few years together had not been easy. Oh, wait! It's just like her. Started a new run in Divinity Original Sin 2 with a friend. Gonna be slow progress, though. He's pretty busy most of the time. Gotcha. You've done the entire game of that, right? I haven't done any other Larian game other than Baldur's Gate 3, so. Well, that's not true. Wait. No, that is true. The first Baldur's Gate were not Larian, so yeah. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be a butt. Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't... Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. You did a couple of runs before, but that was back during the first COVID lockdowns. Gotcha. That was a long time ago. When did that game release? Looks like I'm getting to the good stuff. Hey, Raichana, how are you? Yeah, we're just starting the second route, Raichana. So I'm not really sure. You think 27? Gotcha. Nice. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Hope I'm feeling better? Thanks, I appreciate it. I am feeling better than I was, for sure. Now, I will say... I was hoping for no VN sections today, but we started off the stream with a VN section. So, but whatever, it's fine. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping. Yeah, but that should be it for a little. Uh-huh. Any plans for my next stream game? Alright. Let's talk about this. Alright. So, actually, let me write up a list here. So, one option. Octopath Traveler 2. That's one option. Other ideas? Um, The Forgotten City. There are other games on my list. There's like I mean, there's a lot of games on my list, but really hard to say which I want to do next. Oh yeah, crosscode's an option for sure. Crosscode is super an option. Oh, I was about to type crosscode in chat. No, that's not where my list lives. Have I played Nirvana Initiative? Yes, I did. I did play Nirvana Initiative. I liked it quite a bit. I know there's some hot takes around it, or like people not liking it that much, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Cassette Beast, that was also an option. That game seemed fun. Oh, I got you on my wish list. I added some recent stuff to my wish list, actually. Can I sort these? Sort by date added. Oh, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. You guys, Shane at least has heard of this. Lorelei? I think it's Lorelei, but it could be Lorelei. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. I've heard good things about this one. You like it too. You think you like the first one more, but I like both for different reasons. I like the gameplay in the second in Nirvana Initiative right channel is so good. I love the gameplay. I think the gameplay is way better. Okay, I'm not gonna do Hades 2. Don't want to do Hades 2. You've been tempted? I've been tempted by Hades 2 too. But I'm not going to because, well, I want to wait for full release. And that's just like, that's where I'm at right now at least. I don't think I'll budge on that. I think I think I have enough to like, I think I have enough to occupy me until then, so. Other games. Animal Well's not on that list because I already finished it. I think that's mainly the games. These are the main games. I wish you could do line breaks in Twitch chat. I wish they would allow line breaks. But those are the games I got right now. Oh, wait. No, right, no, that was also a game. 1,000 Year Door. I've never played it. I've never played any Paper Mario game. And everyone says this remake's amazing. So yeah, I would love to do 1,000 Year Door too. You played a bunch of others, but not that one. Gotcha. Okay. I mean, a lot of people say that like this is the best one. You know. I don't know if that's true or not, but. All right, let's get going. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. Based on what you have played, you're wine to agree with them. Dang. Alright. Yeah. Wait, is Paper Mario a JRPG? Or is it just an RPG? Or, no, just an RPG. Or is it? I don't know. What's the gameplay like? Is it like JRPG turn-based stuff? It's turn-based, okay. Crosscode isn't really a JRPG. No, it's just an RPG, I think. So I got 6 games on the list. Octopath Traveler 2, Forgotten City, Crosscode, Cassette Beast, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, and Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Crosscode is a Zelda-like ARPG. Oh, dang. Okay. My problem with Crosscode is that I'm gonna want 100% it on stream. And that's just, like, so much. I'm probably gonna take the Forgotten City off this list. I just put it on the list because it's an option, and I have it, so. Crosscode can be super long, if you let it be super long. I don't think it's that long of a game, like, if you don't hunt, if you just, like, do, like, the main plus some extras. The pace she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Yeah, main story is pretty manageable, but all quests took a while and you haven't even done the DLC yet. Yeah, that's right. Kaine blushed and turned away. I'm glad Kaine has someone like this in her life. You think I'm pretty? Now this leads to the question, what happened to Grandma? And she's probably dead, right? That's like my main assumption right now. And what happened? Of course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. Pipe, I bet you would like Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. I want to get it on sale, ideally. It's very new. But people are saying it's like an amazing game. So. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Kaine's Dreams, Daily Life. So the first one was called Discrimination. This one's called Daily Life. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. You'll wish list it for sale? Nice, yeah. Who developed it? Same publishers as Outer Wilds, but that doesn't mean anything. Simogo. Oh, Shane did sign our Wild Hearts. Gotcha. Nice. The developer. You hate when a game is marketed with from the publishers of, because it's so meaningless. It really is. Yeah, it is. There's also a Annapurna bundle. on sale. The bangers are like, I don't know if Stray is a good game, but Stray, Neon White I heard is good. What Remains of Edith Finch I've heard is good. Outer Wilds is a banger. Journey's awesome. Heard Sayonara Wild Hearts is cool. And that's the only ones I actually know of. And then there's Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. You agree said in the case of Annapurna, they don't seem to miss. I don't really know, Shane. I've only played a few of theirs, and I only know like their major ones. I know Stray was popular, but was it good? Oh, my mouse keeps appearing in the center. It's annoying. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of crap axe. It's like when a film is from the producer, it's like, okay, so someone threw money at it, this and that, so? Yeah. Real kickers like the directors and things like that. Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with the splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. And riders, of course, I guess. She has no idea. Kaine's grandma has no idea how to chop chop wood, does she? Grandma, called Kaine. That you, Kaine? Yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. Don't get too close, or I might take your... God, it might take your dang foot up by mistake. She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. You've played Flower, Gorogoa, Gone Home, Outer Wilds, Journey, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Kentucky Route Zero, and they're all bangers. That's a lot. You should get the bundle. Once she scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something." The axe poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. "Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water?" You considered their Switch collection, but you had so many of the games already. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, on Steam... Wait, for Steam, does it remove those games for the bundle? Or does it put them as gifts? I don't remember. Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there's no changing it. She's stubborn, just like Kaine. This grandma just seems like Kaine, but old. I think it just discounts it more if you have something in a bundle already. Gotcha. So you're not buying another copy then. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid strike, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Dang! Dang it! Oh, crap! She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Alright, you need to get clean and have fun reading my storybook. I am 45 minutes in, and I'm probably like 15 minutes in worth of content, so we're doing great. But yeah, alright, see you, Shane. I won't see you before you leave, obviously, but I hope you have a great trip and have safe travels. And yeah, I hope it's a really good time with family, and I hope you get to eat good food. And those are the two main things. I hope it's a nice time. I'll see ya. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with the blade, but the task was challenging, and blizzards would soon begin to form on her small pink hands. Thanks, let's hang a chillin' disc next weekend. Like this upcoming weekend, or the weekend after? This is tough, and my logs are all weird sizes. Let me know, though. You'll be back on Saturday. Alright, sounds good. Yeah, we'll see. I think this should be okay. We'll see. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Sitting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you... Oh no. Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. Grandma! The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Kaine stayed the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. Stop that! Just stop! She cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told me more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick, and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. It's alright, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, gosh dang it. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. So was her first dream what was happening after this? No, because the first dream seemed to imply that like she was being bullied a lot, and she knew the villagers' names. And this dream makes it seem like it's going to be like her basically first time in the village, at least in a considerable amount of time at least. But I do think the first dream eventually happens after this. Just not immediately after. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. Oh. She knows who it is. She knows Demo already then. Alright, fair enough. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. Hey lady, said Kaine with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me? They seemed to say, but Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Hang on, I gotta blow my nose. Alright. Okay. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other directions. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Wait. Maybe the discrimination came before then. Alright, that could make sense too. Like she was wanting to die, and then eventually she gets rescued by Grandma, and then she finds new life in that. And this is where she's at now, in the story. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers is nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Ha! Barked Demo. That'll... That'll be finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head. But before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told him to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. Wow, it really is, Pipe. It really is. You like that picture? Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaine and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. This guy is so nice! You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Kali, thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step. But it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. Back already, are ya? Asked her grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. Well, how was it? Those jerks give you any trouble? It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know. As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever. That's not how it works. Horse crap, said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. Living forever would just make me mad. Now put those crayons away and help with dinner. This is like, what is it? Actually, this is not quite similar, but it reminds me of it. In SpongeBob, the chocolate episode. If you rub it on your skin, it'll make you live forever. Live forever, you say? Okay, I'll take one. But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Chocolate? Chocolate! Man, what a good episode. It's so, like, so goofy. Man, it just, those episodes just peak SpongeBob, really. My girlfriend and I, we just watched the Magic Conch episode. That one's a good one. I love that one. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. You watching some old school SpongeBob on YouTube the other day. It just holds up so well. Which ones are you watching? I know, dude. The episode, I don't know why it holds up so well. Like, the humor in it is just, the humor in that show is just so good. And I feel like it transcends time. People just get it, you know? Like, it's just so dumb, but it's also so good. I don't know. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, you know, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. Well, dude, that SpongeBob is still going. That is crazy. I wonder how popular it is among the kids, the younger generation, right? Like, what is popular for the younger generation right now? Bluey's popular just because Bluey's actually so good. Bluey's just like a good show. Coco Melon, apparently. Coco Melon I've always felt was like for really young kids. I feel like SpongeBob's like for like 10-year-olds, you know? Like the most watched kids show on Netflix. Really? That's insane. I didn't know that. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, she said between laughter. You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush. I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. That's actually... Man, this is so sweet. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face. An action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandma and mother to take the artwork down. Posh, said the old woman. I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud. She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness. There's a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory. A perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong resemblance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of a life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment, it will be different. Kane swore, because I will remember it forever. Remember a few months ago when the new Sandy Cheeks movie leaked entirely on Twitter? No? Wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about, Pipe. What is this? I ain't even heard of that movie. Forever. Kane's dream separation. Alright, this entire stream is now VN. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're in the third dream now. Let me take more water. Let me drink more water here. It releases in August. It's true. Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. Wait, I'm gonna Google it. It released in August. Wait, it's already rated. Wait, so is it not going through any changes until... I mean, August is not that far away. So it can't do, like, any major changes? Hmm. It's not rated very well. But maybe I expected it to not be that good of a movie anyway. I don't know. That's funny, though. You don't really know. You guess marketing takes a while? Yeah, I suppose so. It's actually kind of wild. Because I feel like... I don't know if like Western shows are like this, or I know now I'm switching from like movies to shows, but I don't know if it's the same. But anime production seems terrible. I feel like they're finishing the episode like minutes before it airs sometimes, or like hours before it airs sometimes, probably, and that just sounds insane. And I don't know how it is for like Western shows. I know movies and TV shows and movies are definitely different. Uh, I think production on anime movies tend to be a lot better, just because like they're allowed to take their time a little bit more, and it's not as bad because like for a TV show you kind of like have to reserve your spot for like the season, right? The quarter of the year. You reserve your TV slot, and it airs at that time. And if you miss it, then that probably hurts you like pretty substantially. But movies, you can kind of just go at your own pace, so it's like very different. But I just wish that they would have like more of the show complete before they even begin to air it. You know, like if maybe the show is entirely done before it even airs. That would be like that's like always ideal. But I like never hear of that happening. Are the constant mid-season breaks for some shows because they're still making the episode? Yes, exactly. Like that Uncle Isekai show that was on. Did you watch it? Uncle from Another World? I never saw it. I watched like one episode or two. I've heard it's actually pretty good. And I didn't dislike it, I just never got back to it. Alright. Kaida listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its way home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. It's no bug, you fool girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, said Kane. I think it's burnt or something, because it smells terrible. With that, Kane held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, alright. Oh, you little brat, laughed the old woman. You watched it until there was like a month break between two episodes and never got back to it. It wasn't bad. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, there's so many long breaks. I'm actually curious. What? Let me check some of my anime that has like that I finished in the past couple years. So we'll check 2024 on my list. Uh, Solo Leveling had a 1 week break, which isn't bad. I'll take that. That's fine. Vinland never had a break, I don't think. Oh, that's so based. That's good. So the breaks between like cores of like season 2 part 1 versus season 2 part 2, I think those are silly, but I think they're still intentional. And I don't think they're a failure of production. I think it's more of just a way to spread out their content more so that the show is like in the minds of people for longer, which I think is interesting. Near Automata, the show, that had a huge break. And then there's also like what else had a break here? I know I know the Misfit at Demon King Academy, is that what it's called? That show had a big break too. There's just so many bad production issues. Zom 100. Zom 100 had a significant break too. I like that show. That show is sick. Yeah, but anyways. Wonder if Uncle from Another World will get a second season after how the first season production went. It's really hard. Like, sometimes it's not really about. I mean, as long as it sells well and it's watched a lot, I don't know. All right, all right. So, kind of just ate the berry. She says terrible. You still need to finish Zom 100. It's good. I like Zom 100. It's a good show. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. Okay, so that happened first. So this is sequential. My bad. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse at an equal measure. Kaina could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaina started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And and so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Well, I was gonna check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What in the heck for? Kinda stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, The old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. Okay. Grandma, a dying cat could shoot through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so that we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. Gosh dang it, girl. If a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing that worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves, I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other. Grandma, no. If I don't go to the Kelmetries, we won't eat tonight. You know that. A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately, it seems my mind... Oh no, she's getting dementia. She's just getting too old. She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. You're going to be a true woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls, and more talking about how beautiful you've become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't another like you in all the world. They have a really sweet relationship. I like it a lot so far. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough gosh dang compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her. Pulling someone by the ears is insane. You're actually impressed by how much text there has been. It's rough. Now, I like it. I mean, I like VNs a lot, and I like these sections, but it's not great when you're, like, getting over sickness. It's just not great for the voice in general. But it's good. It really is good. Grandma, yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it! What the heck? The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, she began. Maybe I should stay home after all. No! I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, don't sneak her, or don't turn around, she told herself. But in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. Gods, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine wondered about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. No! Oh gods, no! A shade. A shade went to the place. Her grandmother's house was ablaze. the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma! Kaine ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running. Oh, she teched it! Unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her. Gotta save her! She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending a small whirlwind spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her. Yo, Jordan! Thank you for the 69 months. Very nice, indeed. How are you? Jordan, it has been a VN stream, and at this point, I am going to take a break. I need to go to the bathroom real bad. But yeah, thank you so much for the 69 months. It's been such a long time. Nice. Alright, we're back. The beginning of Ruby is definitely a lot of reading. We'll see if it's, hopefully it's not too much more, but we'll see. It's been hard on the voice for sure. I mean, I am getting over a little sickness, but it's okay. Jordan, how was the Combo Breaker watch party? Did you go? Was it a good time? Sorry, I had to do something real quick. Okay. A blend of rotted meat, but then the smell hit her. A blend of, yeah, rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. It was a good one, wasn't it, Pipe? The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. Oh, I just read that. Alright, you jerk, she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. It's you or me. Let's go. I can't swear like Kaine. Kaine swears too much. She has quite the sailor mouth. The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again. Yo, what's up, Wave God? How are you? I see you in Miku's chat right now, on my other screen. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. Thanks for the follow, though. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was fun. Long day of top 8s yesterday, but you enjoyed it. That's good. What was the best top 8? Was it Guilty Gear? Eli posted a tweet saying like, wow, what a top 8 or something. I don't know what game it was for, but yeah. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. Grandma! At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. She's alive, she thought Kaine. Alive! Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. He's probably tweeting about Tekken. Gotcha. Was Tekken pretty good? Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up! Get up! Get up, get up, get up, get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet, only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Tekken was a pretty sick top 8. You don't know the player super well, but somehow, but someone who's gotten second and third a lot finally got the W, which was cool. Nice. Love to see that. Love to see hard work paying off. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma! Hold on. Are you going to Evo? Or Evo, right? Not CEO? Probably Evo. Evo for sure. If you're going to either of them, it'd be Evo, I think. What else? Yeah, who else was there? Well, I know there are some, the FGC guys at the party, so. Just a little longer. Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness. The distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. Yeah. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant tongue turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. Jerk, laughing at us. She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt that Shade was taking joy in their suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. The Shade moved its claws slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this jerk. Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward. But she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. A snap from her right ankle. Ow. Adrenaline will do some crazy things if you let it. It's like actually insane. Maybe Evie will, but I don't think so. It's a bit pricey. Gotcha. I thought someone was playing, or at least I thought someone was thinking about going this year. Maybe Alex was thinking about it at first. And it doesn't seem like Paul is that interested in going. You could rope Alex in potentially. Cam's go. Oh, Cam is going. That's right. That's right. Cam's going. I remember that. Okay. Nice. When you broke your hand, you felt nothing because of the adrenaline. That's crazy. Yeah, adrenaline is wild. It just makes you feel like it can make you just feel like nothing, even though no matter how bad it is for you. Pulling a small knife from the pouch on her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. Give her back, she screamed. Give her back to me! It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The Shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of a home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kaine? Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma? Kaine, you gotta run. You can't best this one. Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on. We have to go. Paul, Alex, and I and you went to Cam's, and there were a few huddle people and a lot of Iowa HGC Smash people. Schism was there. I haven't seen that tag in a long time. Schism! The Samus player! Dang. Last time I played him, did I barely beat him? It was so long ago, man. I do not remember if I won or lost against Schism. I could beat him now, obviously, but I'm like... I'm sure he hasn't been playing Melee. The difference between me and then is like wild. I'm so much better. And Joker, which also sounded kind of familiar. Joker's a bigger guy, right? No, Joker played Link in Project M. He was good. I was actually thinking about this set randomly the other day. I played Joker in PM. I played Falcon. He played Link. And I remember it being a really, really close set. I don't remember who won either. I think he won. But I was mad about it. It was a good set, though. I think it went to Lost Ark. Seems like most of them have switched off Melee at this point. I don't blame them. They're like, I think we only play Melee because that's like our thing. Like, we don't know where to turn to anymore, right? And it's like, it's hard to learn another game. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. So it's just not easy. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no! No! I said run. Gosh dang it. You have to. Have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remnants of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from gaps in the creature's toes as a terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose, as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep, red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a mad woman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. This is the toughest boss. It could be the toughest boss. Is that blood? Think it is. Think I'm bleeding to death. No. Can't die. Grandma told me to live. I mean, this is one of the ones we fought, right? I just can't remember the designs of all of them. It has to be one of the ones we fought. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it! Kill it now! As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer. We're back. So what I'm wondering is this the point of the game?
Approaches. Oh, I know.
Is this the point of the game where we start the playthrough? Like, or are we gonna restart again? Am I playing as Nier again?
hunger this creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today. My sword feels lighter.
It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
Okay. Oh, all right. No, we're back in, boys. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kane tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize her left eye was gone. Whoa. Wait, did I know her? Oh. Wait, did I know one of her eyes was fake? Actually, I think I probably did. At least, I think they were different. I think I noticed that they were different colors, at the very least. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping really annoying. Ah! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are you? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kane and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. Here's a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kane opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop! No, don't hurt that picture! Kane reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture and to the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kane turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha-cha-cha-cha. I look like that? Oh god. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? Who is this? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, while her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something. Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! Kaine finally resorted to shouting out the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes, they don't come true for me. I'm a curse, a freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh god, you are the best! Kaine glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet, and then began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot searing pain as it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die. So why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused, as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the gosh dang life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood, just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Ah, yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body, I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated as if considering this request, and quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Oh, what the heck, sunshine? Screamed the voice. We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, and closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. The pattern of the shades burned itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be danged, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that. I should just say, well, I'll be. Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me are gonna be good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop. Gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. Here hate's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger burn with the fire of revenge, thirst for blood. Then go out there and... Shut up! Shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as a sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Haha! Stupid idiot girl. You're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed? Whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me? We got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you too. Yo, is this gonna end up being like a Ling Yao and Greed kind of deal in Brotherhood? I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shit that squashed your granny? We'll wrap him up in their own balls. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Well, wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? Yo, wait. This is a Greed Ling Yao kind of deal. What? You think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I'll give a good gosh dang who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it, you and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part, even if you don't want. F off, a-hole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Screamed the voice. Look at you go. Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyrion, and if you ever need me, I'll be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shit. I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyrion. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyrion. I have poop bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body. But if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, now I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away. Faded somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. Feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I am not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. There's a wreath of lunar tears. Though I had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, and slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed. Corrupted. A freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn, and the people of the area rose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if the tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive! Stay alive! Stay alive! Grandma.
No, that's Emil.
Kaine, you gotta live! You gotta come back to us!
Oh, hey. Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Wow, that moment hits a lot different.
Kaine.
That moment hits a lot different after
Wow.
the cutscene, after the
You grew
reading
up.
with Kaine's backstory a little bit. It's
So,
great.
how long has it been?
5 years.
Shit. That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Man, that is also amazing. That's awesome.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Emil's
Oh, no.
We let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all.
Classic. They really did, though.
Are you kidding me? You can't be serious.
A lot of these, like, little things are so different now that we've seen the end of the first route. Like, Devila and Popola actually are, like, with the Shadow Lord. Like, they did ruin it all. I gotta pee. I'll be right back. Alright. Let's keep going.
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it.
I mean, Nier's right.
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
I wonder how many scenes they're gonna show.
What is the matter?
Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna be playing as Nier in this playthrough again. But it looks like they're just showing me a lot of scenes that are different, with different context now.
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devila. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
Man, that's a good, like, realization of humility and, like, self-reflection. Really good. It's really real.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil.
This one's sick.
But what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kaine.
Wait, is that?
Wait, do we... I don't remember seeing this scene. Hang on.
I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
With a special cloth? That's so cute.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
This is cute. Let's go, Emil.
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was, no matter how bad things got. She gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Uh-huh.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
This is cute. That was nice. Can Nier hear all of that? I don't know.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
I am playing as Nier again still. Interesting.
I feel confident that
Of course she does.
Okay.
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I've not heard you speak much about your mother.
So what am I doing now? Still just... So... We're at a point in the last game where a lot of things still already... Like, we're at probably like the... I want to say it's like the halfway point of the first game, of the first route. And we've gotten some extra scenes with Kaine. And with that additional context, we're just playing as normal for now. I think we're going to get a lot more extra context, like a lot more extra scenes that we didn't get in the first playthrough. And I'm excited for it. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but yeah. Should be good. Hope you're still doing well, Pipe. Hope your day's going well. Now, it looks like we're gonna learn about our main character's mother here.
She got the Black Scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
It's been doing some stuff for family. Like what? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, here.
Hopping between streams. Yeah. That is what being a Twitch monster is like. I used to do that a lot.
Take a look.
I can see it now.
Say there. Can you not hear me?
Whoa!
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
What is my...
Felt like I was dreaming or something.
What the?
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now, there's the door.
Right. Let's go.
What kind of voice do I have now? Holy. I'm a huge Chad. What the? Wait, what's going on? Talk to Devil and Popola. What is happening? I'm just continuing as the same character, just older and very mature. Yeah, you'll be unable to save until the battle is over. Ooh. How long is this? Jordan, if you're still here, how long is this? If this is a long time, I might change the next. I might just stream next time. Cause I started later, and I think now's not even a bad point to stop anyway. Man, he really is. I'm gonna load and see that if I get put in the same spot, then I'm gonna quit for the day.
Whenever I interact
No!
with Kine,
Okay. No, I have to go through all this. Okay. Well, I thought I could save. Alright, yeah, we're gonna call it anyway, though. Like... I'll do all this part, before the next stream, and then we'll, like, start at the big doors next time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Pipe. Oops. I had to see if, like... Alright, I'll see you guys later. Hopefully be back on Saturday. We'll see. I mean, I've been a little inconsistent overall, but, should be back, we'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And, for the people in the US, keep enjoying your day off. And, see you guys later. Bye-bye, as I do this.